Welcome to a brand new video, guys, and today we are actually in front of the famous prison museum here in Vietnam, and we're just gonna go check that out really quick. I just got a ticket. It was 30,000, but let's go see what it's all about. We'll probably walk around this section of Hanoi as well, since we haven't seen so much of it.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, thank you.
And on this side, the French built the tunnel short, because on the other side is criminal.
And I'm just going to do a quick montage of the entire prison here so you don't have to sit through me talking about everything. So let's go. Guys, just made it out of the museum, and it's actually a lot bigger than I expected it to be. It was maybe about like a 45-hour walkthrough, and there's a lot of information in there. But I'd say go ahead and get like the audio equipment thing for the audio tour, because a lot of stuff in there isn't explained that well, and I feel like with the audio tour it'd be a lot better. And I know the kind of montage I did there probably didn't give you much information about anything, but it's just for you to get an idea, because if it looks interesting to you, then you should probably check it out. It has a lot of good history about the French colonization and also the Vietnam War. And it's really interesting to see how they kind of show you how they treated the US soldiers, the prisoners of war here, because it's I think it's kind of skewed, and they show you that it's that they treated them really well. So yeah, it's really cool, and if you like museums and history, definitely check it out. Right now I think I'm gonna head to the military museum, check that out really quick, because it's only like a half a mile away from here, so you might as well. Well, actually guys, it turns out those museums are closed on Mondays, so the B-52 museum and then also the War History Museum is closed, but there is another museum open, which is the Air Force Museum, which sounds pretty cool. So we're gonna go ahead and check that out. All right guys, slight problem here. I can't find any grabs or taxis, so like nothing is picking up my ride. So I guess I'm just gonna have to walk around here and see what's going on. And luckily it has stopped raining now, so hopefully it stays like that for a bit. But the Air Force Museum is like 2.5 miles away, so definitely can't walk that, and I can't get a grab from here, so we're just kind of have to walk and see if we can grab one from somewhere else. Well guys, I've been looking for about 35 minutes for a grab or something, but I can't find anything. And there have been taxis going around here, but I want to save that cash for like food, or you know, just in case, just to have some cash on me, and I don't want to grab more cash. That'd be kind of a waste. But we're gonna actually go try some banchan right now, which is kind of like a sweet pho with like barbecue pork, and it's a really popular spot here, and probably one of the most famous restaurants here in Hanoi. Anthony Bourdain and actually Barack Obama ate there, so we're gonna see if that's open and check it out. And also the skies are looking a lot clearer, so maybe we'll go to Westlake today, because it's says it's gonna rain tomorrow, so I don't want to risk it if it's raining again. And it looks like we're gonna get some stable weather for a bit here. So if we can find a ride to Westlake, that's definitely something we can get done today. Yeah, crossing the street here is just something that I probably will never totally get comfortable doing. But it's about a mile walk from here, so it's not bad. And it's a lot cooler than usual. Alright guys, here we are. And this is the place right here. Okay, so we're here at 4 p.m. and it's still packed. Yeah, so there's a lot of people in here, and luckily I was able to get a seat. But yeah, let me show you the menu here, which has a picture of Obama on it. And then, yeah, so their signature dish is that right there. And it's kind of like a sweet and sour pho is what it is. It tastes a lot like a sukiyaki. And I haven't had it before, but I'm excited to see what it is. And when you've had the likes of like Anthony Bourdain and Barack Obama here, you know, it's probably good. All right, guys, so here's our food. And this is a fried kind of shrimp spring roll. Looks pretty good. And then over here we got our barbecue pork with the noodles and some veggies. And as you can see, first off, it's a much darker broth compared to regular pho. And I think it's made out of like a special fish sauce. All right, let's try the seafood roll. And it's still piping hot, but it seems like there's a little bit of fish and prawn and pork even in here, so not completely seafood. Yeah, there's definitely some pork or something in there, but the seafood is super fresh. It's very crispy, nice and salty. And you don't even need a sauce for that because it's super well seasoned. It's really good. Oh, and a little bit of crab right here. Yeah, that was super good. So now let's move on to the actual dish here, which has quite a lot of kind of like cuts of pork in it, and then some ground pork as well, it looks like. You can kind of see that layer of fat on top right there. Looks super good. And let's start with a little taste of this soup. Wow. That is literally a blast of flavor. It's pretty sweet, and you get kind of that charred flavor of the pork. Totally unique. And honestly, that's way better than a regular pho in my opinion. It's got a lot more flavor. There's more fat, and that charred flavor of the meat is like seeped into the soup. And I've never tasted anything like it. And it's more like a sugary syrup broth than it is like a water-based broth. I don't know, it's thicker, and there's definitely more of a unique texture to it. But I'll bet you it's even better with some of this garlic, crushed garlic in there. And then maybe a chili pepper or two. It really needs a little bit of acidity, and they give you plenty of that here. So they've got, I'm guessing, some fish sauce, some white pepper, and some vinegar as well. Yeah, so let's go ahead and get some of this vinegar in here, and I think it's been marinated in some chili pepper as well. That should give it some acidity, and it should be super good. Let's try it. That adds a bit of saltiness and spiciness to it. That hits the spot. And now let's get a little bit of this noodles. Dunk that right in there. It's incredible how much of the charred flavor comes through in the broth. Now let's grab a little bit of this pork fat. That's so good. The pork is super well cooked. You get that charcoal flavor, a little bit of burnt bits in there too. It's like a flavor bomb. And it is sweeter than you're thinking. You do need a little bit of that chili and the vinegar, which really make it next level. Let's go ahead and try some of this ground pork. That's good because that broth really seeps into the crevices of this. And it's like a gusher, a meat gusher. And it looks like there's a bunch of vegetables in here too, which looks like cucumbers. And I bet these are really good too because it's soaked up all of that broth. That's not cucumber. I think it's like radish. But you can still taste some of the broth in there. And the acidity from that radish really helps cut down on kind of the sweetness as well. And I can totally understand why Obama and Anthony Bourdain came here because it is incredible. Such a blast of flavor from something that looks so simple. All right, guys, I'm gonna finish this up and I will catch you after that. All right, guys, done and dusted. And it was so good and so cheap for the price. It was like 95,000 dong for the seafood roll and then the noodles. So pretty good price. And if you want to get better food, I think you got to venture out of like the Beer Street area. I think that's where all the more traditional foods are. And it's not even that far from the old quarter. It's like half a mile away. So I'm not telling you to like take a car or a bus and go somewhere, but just walk out a little bit more and you'll find, I think, better restaurants and stuff. And I gotta say, I still think the dried chicken pho I had from the other place in the last video was still the best thing, but this was a very, very close second. All right, guys, made it out. What a meal that was. Definitely one of the most unique flavors I've ever had. And it's unfortunate that I came so late because I would definitely come back here if I had more time. And of course, the name of the restaurant will be down in the description, so make sure you check it out if you're ever in Hanoi. All right, let's go check out Westlake. We got a couple hours here before sunset. But again, it's so hard to find Grab cars. Yeah, so I have to get a Grab bike, and I've never done that before, but I guess we'll see how it goes right now. All right, guys, got my little helmet on, and away we go. Wish me luck. I guess you haven't truly experienced Hanoi if you haven't taken a scooter, so glad we're getting that out of the way. Alright, so here's our first look at Westlake. It's gigantic compared to the lake closer to the old quarter, that's for sure. And I think this is where most of like the bigger hotels are as well. I've seen a couple huge ones. The old quarter is where more of the younger crowd goes to hang out. And if you got a little more money, I think this is where everyone else is. Okay, so I'm not exactly sure where we got dropped off, but we're gonna walk towards the lake area. I'm not sure why it didn't just drop me at the lake like I wanted, but not too big of a problem. It gives me a little walk to kind of see the area a bit. And I'm not gonna lie, the bike ride was pretty sketchy, but it was half the price of a car, and I think it gives you a unique point of view of living in Hanoi and what it's like to commute here, because it is crazy. All right, guys, I got a little lost there, but here's our first look at the lake. Yeah, it's massive. Looks like there's a lot of people kind of riding their bikes and stuff around here, which is really cool to see. And there's a lot of like expats and like non-native, I guess, residents around here. I've seen a lot of people with dogs and children riding around on scooters, and I guess this is the place to live here in Hanoi. And it does look quite beautiful with the sunset in the background, the giant buildings. Really a nice sight, and you know, there's a lot of greenery here in Hanoi is what I've noticed the most, which I love. It's a perfect balance. And right as I say that, it looks like they're cutting down some trees. Let's walk around here and see what's going on, but I know it's pretty far around the lake actually. I think a couple kilometers or something. Probably won't make it all the way around, but we'll try to get at least to that other side over here where all the buildings are. Looks like there's a couple cool cafes and restaurants and these really creepy boats over here that haven't been used in a really long time. Guess it all adds to the charm. But this restaurant here looks really interesting. But what would be ideal, I think, is if you could rent a bicycle or something around here. That would be ideal. It seems like everyone has either a bike or a scooter. Okay, so I see the Lotte Tower right here, which has a pretty nice view from the top floor. So maybe we'll go over there, and then maybe that'd be a good place to end the video, because it is getting darker outside. And my feet are starting to hurt from all this walking. But that seems to be kind of like where downtown Hanoi is, with all the biggest buildings right there. So let's just start making our way over there and see what they got. So we're almost onto this kind of main street here, which looks like it has a lot of restaurants and stuff. Let's go see what's happening on here. And I think this is definitely more of the residential area of Hanoi, because you see a lot of people working out. You got play areas like this, and then the restaurants themselves are more kind of like family friendly and less bar style. Alright guys, the Lotte Tower is a lot farther than it looks actually, so I might have to get a grab here and drive over there, because it's about 3 miles away. It looks like I could walk there from here, but I guess not. Alright, on another grab bike, and off to the Lotte Tower we go. I gotta say, he's a lot braver than the first guy we rode with. Okay, so there's the Lotte Tower right in front of us. It looks like it's like the tallest building around here. But we're trying to get up to the observation deck, and I really hope it's open. Okay, so it looks like a giant department store. See a lot of shops in there. Just around here actually reminds me a lot of Bangkok. Okay, yeah, that one was way more sketchy. I mean, he was hitting gaps that most F1 drivers would have a hard time finding. But we did make it here nice and safe, and this looks really cool. Looks a lot like some of the malls in Bangkok. Alright, so there's a lot of stores in here. You got stuff like Bose, Nike, Adidas, stuff like that. But I'm trying to get all the way to the top, so let's find a way to do that. Okay, here's a sign for it. I'm guessing it's this way. Yeah, I think so. So 230,000 to go up, and I think it's on the 65th floor. Kind of reminds me of the way you get up to Marina Bay in Singapore. It's like the same procedure and stuff. And whoa, this is pretty cool. I've never seen that before. It's very futuristic. It lights up after every floor you get to, and then it has the actual floor you're on. I wonder how old this building is. I mean, it seems really new. Oh wow, and look at this view. Wow, that's incredible. You never really realize how far 65 floors is until you get there. There's a little bar and restaurant area out here as well. Gives you a really good view of all the traffic here in Hanoi as well. Alright, so let's grab this table here. And I did go with an option to get a drink, which was an extra, I think, like 50,000 dong, so pretty worth it. But this view is, I mean, incredible. The camera doesn't do it much justice because there's a reflection and stuff, but definitely worth the visit. Really cool view. Alright guys, got my drink. Looks pretty cool. And you might as well just get one, because the ticket up here costs 230,000, so it's an extra like 50,000. And a drink up here costs like 300,000, so it's pretty worth it. And of course you get this incredible view. Alright guys, just got done with my drink, and yeah, just hanging out up here, but it's been pretty cool, and definitely recommend it. For like the $10, you might as well just come see this incredible view of Hanoi. And they also got these little cool kind of like skywalk things so you can stand on air. I feel like we got a lot done today. You know, we got to see a little bit of Westlake and that side of Hanoi that we haven't explored yet. And I think next time I come to Hanoi, that's definitely the site I'll probably get an Airbnb or hotel at. I think it's a little more low-key, and there's less parties, it's less loud. It's a little more kind of what I'm into, I guess. But it's all preference. If you know parties and stuff like that, nightclubs and stuff is what you're looking for, then the old quarter of Hanoi, where Beer Street is perfect for you. But if you want a more chill, laid-back place, then definitely check out someplace next to Westlake. And also, I think this is probably going to be my last video here in Hanoi as well. We are moving on to a beachy area, less city, just to wind down and relax a little bit. But don't worry, there'll be plenty of videos coming from there. But I'm excited to go, and hopefully it's not as rainy as it has been in Bangkok and Hanoi, but we'll see. And it's been an awesome time here in Hanoi. I'll never forget it. You know, some of the nicest people in the world, and so helpful too. And also just the scenery, the city is so aesthetic and beautiful. And of course, Ha Long Bay, I'll never forget that. It's a once in a lifetime experience. But on that note, guys, it is time to end the video. Thank you so much for watching. And if you enjoyed the video, please make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and hit that bell icon so you know when I post next. And until then, have a great day.